Guys, we were right. And sample is really the one that was picked. Why? John Reed Stark said this. In other words, if there is a crash, it will affect all of us. This is why the SEC needs to fix the rules about securities. Put an end to the quote, "Who is this person who said this?" He used to be the head of the SEC's office that policed the internet. As far as I remember, John Reed Stark said that USTT was a Ponzi scheme because there were no reserve checks. Are you going to look at that? Yes? I think he may have said some bad things about USTT and tether gas. We used to say the same things a long time ago, and how this will probably be the thing that causes all of these coins to crash, because remember that all of your coins and every coin in the market, or 99.9% of these coins, are tethered to USCT. That's right, every coin has a pair that points to USCT. So the effects of tether crashing will be terrible. Guys, it was written down, so here are some important things to remember and suggestions for what to do next. Now, we did our best to show you the risks that come with USCT in this piece. Remember that with only Tether Holdings Ltd's superficial audited financial report, it's hard to get a good idea of how liquid USCT is and how well it can handle a new wave of redemptions. Still, our research shows that Tether Holdings Ltd may have used up all of its cash on hand with the recent $9 billion refund wave. As a big USCT depeg event, this is very scary. The crypto market would be destroyed by big events that last a long time. We were the first ones to ask, guys, could this happen soon, where the rope falls off? Do not forget Tether is part of America. Right, guys, because they bought. You know that when America goes down, so does the debt of America, right? I think there's a good chance it will happen. Then it flows down to what? The crypto market? Terrible effects. That's really scary, because the US dollar is used as the base currency on many of the biggest platforms, like Binance and all the others. Investors would have lost faith because an unstable stablecoin isn't useful. The fact that it's called a stablecoin is funny, because it will become unstable over time. Is there anything but good? It is still too early to tell how the market feels about the USCT and its link to the USC. So some fluctuation is to be expected. If not, and if USCT shocks the system, authorities will need to step in. We will all be affected by a crash. They need to quickly fix the loss. Rules say that if a crash happens, the government is likely to step in and look into that. They told you guys they wouldn't do it right now. It wasn't until everyone said, wow, that's crazy how deep that is, that it was also recorded and seeded. When everyone loses their money, that's when the rules will kick in, right? Because then there needs to be a solution because of all the stores crying. In the end, this will be good for the crypto market as a whole, right? They'll say it was a good thing. We now have rules in place to make sure this doesn't happen again. JP Morgan, what I mean is that Tether is going, right? Or another coin dying because you have to follow their rules, right? Which they could have stopped if they went after Tether a long time ago, which is now. However, JP Morgan also thinks that Tether will fail. Even if you don't agree with me, are you really going to ignore the brave cause of smart money? With new rules coming out for stablecoins, JP Morgan thinks that Tether will be used less. Europe is likely to put indirect pressure on Tether because it will become less appealing compared to stablecoins that are easier to understand. This is where RLUC comes in. Okay, RLUC time will only shine when Tether is down. It is scary to think this way, but Ripple doesn't care. Since they know, thoughts, with a $160 million limit, Ripple's RLUC stablecoin is becoming more popular. More and more Ethereum addresses are holding the token. But this will get bigger. This will really take off. Whenever money leaves Tether and moves to other stablecoins like USDC. But is USDC even there? Real and safe to boot? Yes? The real test for all of these coins will happen when they fall. Most of them will disappear, but a few will still be there. Yes? They'll be gone for the most part. When the stablecoin bill is signed into law, it opens up the whole gender capital market. To sum up, the crypto market will do very well once all of these rules, laws, and bills are made official. I don't know until then. This problem for Tether, on the other hand, is likely to affect the DeFi market, where Tether is widely used as collateral and cash. They said that Tether's reports still don't have an independent audit or a full and thorough list of all the assets that the company owns. Take a look. Other than US Treasury bills, there are big price risks with investments other than those. Tether won't go down because those guys are carrying American T-bills. Okay, but only when America fails. That's how easy it is, and I think it will work. Yes? They are making plans. Setting the scene, guys. There just needs to be a spark. Everything can fall apart in an instant. And that's when XRP will really shine. 10 years ago, if you told me from Elmer Tourette that on a Friday afternoon I would be glued to my phone watching a group of securities lawyers teach the government how to control technology code, I would have thought you were crazy. But here we are. Okay, the way these things move is slow, like a turtle, but all they need is a spark to start the fire, and everything will happen fast. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. But it should really happen. The founder and managing director of Valhalla Capital wants the SEC to pay back XRP users $500 billion. Looking at this plan is crazy because it wants to get $500 billion in compensation for people who lost money because of the SEC's case against Ripple. That's crazy. How would you feel if that had really happened? The case that started in December 2020 caused a huge drop in the price of XRP, which led exchanges to take it off their lists. Because of this, the price of XRP dropped about 75% to 17 cents just days after the SEC said it was suing. That was just because of one news story. 75% of XRP was lost, and it wasn't anything. Yes? Everyone knew it was a show. Some people didn't care. Some people were scared. How would you feel if Tether stopped working? Take a look. There aren't any pairs for XRP yet. Or there may be pairs for some other coins, but it's not as good as Tether USCT having every pair known to man. So if this news made XRP drop by 75%, how much do you think it will make these other coins drop? I'll just say 90% plus without a doubt. Then you take away America, which is 98% plus. So in a tweet last month, Valhalla Capital's manager talked about the $500 billion payback in detail. But since the SEC dropped its case against Ripple this month, Crypto Ari, a well-known person in the XRP community, has brought this bold move to people's attention again. Crypto Ari said that her sources told her that more information about the $500 billion XRP repayment would be enough, or would come to light in the next few days. In this tweet from last month, the team said that they would be happy to have over 76,000 XRP users join their crypto justice collision. Guys, we'll be looking for at least $500 billion. I want that to happen. But you know how the government acts. They're not fair. Do you know this? They don't play by our rules at all. 500 billion. Guys, that would be the craziest turnaround ever. Is it really going to happen? The market value of XRP would reach $500 billion if its price rose to $8 to $10. Yes? Either they give you that $500, or they raise the price of XRP to about that market cap. Is that the same? No, not really, not always, but it's pretty good. Oh guys, I'm not sure if this will happen. Yes? That I don't believe will happen. If it did happen though, it would be a wonderful thing. To the point. In fact, it would be a great gift. It looks like more people might be moving. Friends, it's time for me to close this Twitter and X account. Yes? I think a lot of people are going. Guys, I don't know, but that's where all of these big events are going to happen. Right? Right where these big events are going to happen. So, I think we should stay safe.